Hello, and welcome. You are about to enter the Large K Podcast.
What's up, everybody? My name is Kazu, and welcome to Large K Podcast. Now, we are on episode number 33 with Daniel Crook AKA Daydreams. Now, before I get into talking about him and going into the interview, my friend Sammy is over right now. Sammy, do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
That's it. That was Sammy right there. And now we are on episode number 33 with Daniel Crook AKA Daydreams. I met up with him in Santa Clarita, and we had conversations about his music, influences he got from his mom, and favorite shows he's been to in the past. Daniel's a cool guy. His music delivers a captured tracks vibe like, Wild Nothing and Dive with this Ian Curtis-esque vocal. And this was a fun interview, and I hope you guys enjoy today's show. This is Large K Podcast with Daydreams. Did you grow up in Santa Clarita area pretty much your whole life?
I moved there. I moved here in '99, so I think I was like 4 or 5, and I haven't left since.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
I see. Wait, so where did you move from?
My family and I used to live in Paramount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so kind of closer to your area, right? Like Torrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like Anaheim.
Yeah.
That area. Okay, yeah.
It's around there. Like Torrance is just like far from everywhere, so like,
yeah.
that's.
I mean, same here. Like Santa Clarita is pretty far from Torrance and Orange County, but we're it's 30 minutes away from LA, and like 20 minutes from the valley. So, and there's also like Ventura Beach and Santa Barbara, like 30 minutes away too. So
okay, so there's actually like stuff to do. So like at least going to LA is not too much of a problem, especially going to shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's nothing to do here besides I don't know, going to the mall or the movies, maybe bowling. I mean, Six Flags is here, so that's where all like the junior high kids like go on for dates and like stuff like that. So there's that when I was in junior high. But yeah, I like started going to LA more like in high school.
Oh, okay. Are there ever DIY shows in Santa Clarita?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if there's any now, but like there used to be a lot of like DIY shows closer to where Six Flags is in Castaic, and they're usually DIY shows because students from CalArts over here, they host them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But besides like students, like CalArts students hosting these shows, there used to be a huge ska scene.
What?
yeah, it's so random. Like there used to be a huge ska scene and like a punk scene, but Together Pangea was from Santa Clarita.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
I think a couple people are from Newhall, and a couple people were Cal Arts students, and so I think that's how they met.
I see.
Mm.
Yeah. Does your family play music too? Mom and dad and stuff.
My I don't think so. Yeah, my mom sings karaoke, if that counts.
That's a talent. Yeah.
You know, my uncle also sings karaoke.
That's not a talent.
But my brother, my older brother, he also plays guitar.
Okay.
But it's not like his main thing. So I think like he sometimes plays guitar, and if it's just like songs that he wants to like cover or something like that, it's usually like Weezer or,
okay.
You know, or converting trap songs into Weezer songs. So that's his thing. Like if I'll show you his Instagram, it's like him just playing guitar,
yeah,
and like converting trap songs sometimes.
Converting trap songs, like, do you mean like an acoustic version?
Yeah. But then he's like playing like the electric guitar acoustically.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, like a lo-fi version. But no, he's a funny guy. So like he does that sometimes, and then he'll like go like on Facebook Live and kind of mess around. But that's about it.
No, okay. Well,
yeah.
I mean, that, you know, I think that's, you know, that silliness is like still like, I don't know, it's a good humor.
No, it's pure.
Yeah.
It's definitely pure. I can't do that. Like
yeah.
I can't go live and like just sing and play guitar. Like I'm like on face. I can't do that. Like props to him.
Yeah, it's something that he could only pull off, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been playing guitar for?
I've been playing guitar since 5th grade, so that was 2005.
Was that your first instrument?
Yeah, it was guitar because I wanted it to be Billy Joe Armstrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's when like American Idiot came out.
Yeah.
Around that time. So like, yeah, the guitar that I still use, it's like a green and white Fender Strat.
Oh, nice.
And that's exactly what Billy Joe used.
Yeah.
And I still use it, so I'm like, all right, well.
Did you dress up with like a red tie and everything like that too, or?
First ever show was 6th grade talent show, and that's exactly how I dressed up.
What? What song did you play?
We played Holiday.
Nice.
And the setting is 2005, like Catholic school.
Wow.
Yeah. Guess who got in trouble for that?
You did?
I did, yeah.
Did you get like suspended, or like was it like?
No, I only got in trouble because my hair was touching like the collar.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, oh, your hair is too long.
Oh, that's it. So the music wasn't the problem.
Music wasn't the problem. I was like, why did I get in trouble? Oh, it's my hair.
I see. What's the because I remember like American Idiot was actually a pretty big record for me too. And, yeah, I don't know what it is, but a lot of the times a lot of my friends would be like, oh, like, you know, they completely changed and like this isn't like a thing. But kind of looking back to it now, I don't think they really changed their sound at all. Like
they didn't.
No,
like,
they didn't.
Props to them, you know.
Yeah, like,
for just sticking to what they do best, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot more theatrical, I would say, but like the sound wise, it was like it's still them. Like
it is.
Yeah,
it definitely is. I agree. But I mean, like, there's like Green Day wasn't the only thing that I was listening to in 5th grade. I was like, my mom would kind of like have like a sleeping playlist that she'd put on, and it'd be like Green Day, it'd be like Weezer, like Radiohead, a lot of like just 90s stuff,
kind of alternative
like
rock,
some grunge in there, some Pearl
go.
Jam and stuff. But
yeah,
she's the one who actually introduced me to like what I'm into now, like as far as like, you know, like Slow Dive, MBV.
Your mom introduced you to MBV?
Yeah.
How? What? That's cool.
Like my she's pretty young. Like she had my older brother when she was like 19. So like when I look back in photos, like she's wearing like Doc Martens and like flannels, and she looks like she's like, you know, living the 90s dream. But she introduced me to like all those bands, like Joy Division, New Order, everything that I'm like into and like inspired.
Wow, yeah, I'll never imagine my mom introducing me to like Loveless.
That's what people say. Like, whoa, your mom introduced you to Loveless? Like, wow, she must be so sad. I'm like, yeah.
Nah, dude, she was the cool kid. I mean, she still is the cool.
Yeah, she's a cool mom. You know, she like would get me shirts, like My Bloody Valentine shirts, every time she'd go to London or something like that. Or
oh wow.
Yeah, every time she goes to like trips, she'd always like get me like cool band shirts and stuff.
Damn, dude. Does she travel to Europe pretty often?
She used to when I was in high school because her friend lived there. But other than that, like it's either London or the Philippines. But it's not too often anymore.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Now let's get into some like about your music too, because like I know it looks like you've been playing guitar for like the longest time since like middle school and getting in trouble and all that. But when did you actually like start your like project, like Daydreams?
So I started Daydreams because my old band, The Dining Dead, we all kind of like did our own thing. The singer Marina, she started her own project which was called Shunkan. I don't know if you heard of her project before.
Shunkan?
Yeah.
It means a moment in Japanese, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and she's half Japanese, and so like she moved to New Zealand, and then the bassist from our band also moved with her over there. So they started that thing while I'm like here continuing like school and stuff. So like I miss playing music a lot, and I was just like, all right, like I gotta do something on my own. And then that's when I started learning like Logic and like Ableton and stuff like that. And actually like my first ever like solo thing was like vaporwave. like vaporwave like inspired like beats, like SoundCloud beats. so that's and then it eventually like once like because that was like the only way to kind of like learn how to use those softwares and stuff like that. And then once I started getting more used to it, it like progressed to like more chill wave stuff. I was listening to a lot of Washed Out and Toro Yuma and Neon Indian, and so like it progressed to that, and that's when like the name Daydreams like started. And then I started really missing playing guitar. Like I had like this whole time. Like maybe it was like a year or a year and a half or 2 years, and like I just haven't touched the guitar because I was just pretty affected by the band splitting up. And then once I was like playing guitar again, that's when I started to like do more like lo-fi like recordings and combining that with just like drums that I made from like Logic or Ableton. Just stuff that I can make in my bedroom. And so like that's and it just evolved from there. But I think it started like Daydreams, like the name that started in like 2013.
Oh, okay. Why did you stick with that name?
I have no idea. I'm trying to remember like why I chose it, and I don't know. I'm like my mind is going blank. I have no idea why I chose it. Maybe it's because like I don't know, like my mom says I daydream a lot, or I just like don't pay attention, or I don't know. Maybe it's something that like I kind of catch myself like just staring into like
I daydream
emptiness. So that's how that started, and I'm here now. I'm getting interviewed by the one and only Kazu.
Yeah. What if I was daydreaming right now and wasn't focusing on anything that you were saying the whole time?
I'd be honored.
Okay.
I'd be very honored.
Because it is a daydream interview.
Yeah.
I actually so especially going into this interview, I was looking into like a lot of your music, and I listened to your When We Slept in the Treehouse record. It's pretty interesting how like there's something that's capturing about your sound is that like you keep it lo-fi, and is there something about that sound that's so attractive to you? Or
I think it's because like I don't know, my favorite producer and like recording engineer. Like it's Steve Albini, and like every time I hear about or like read interviews about what he does, and it's just like one take of like a band playing live. It's like not really anything like one by one. It's all like at the same time.
Right.
And so like I'm kind of inspired by that, and I'm also inspired just by like staying in like the bedroom or like staying in my house or like the garage and not really like putting much like technical effort into it, because I personally think that like if the music's good, then that's all it needs.
Yeah, definitely. Like I got quite a bit of like the what do you call, like captured tracks band sort of vibe to it.
Oh,
like,
cool.
Yeah.
I've gotten denied by that label so many times.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, yeah, and so it's funny that you say that. I'm like, yeah, damn it. But that's cool though. Like that makes me happy. Like that makes me really happy. Yeah, I've like sent I've done so many like emails and like like sending like tapes off or like packages, and some of these labels just like either don't respond or like they just like, oh sorry, like we're not looking for anything right now.
I see.
But that's cool. That's a huge compliment, because like a lot of bands that I listen to or that I've listened to in the past like are on capture tracks.
Yeah, no, it definitely has that like feel to it, And actually, my favorite song off of this record is "Little Moon."
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it's very minimal, but like the melody is like, it kind of sticks out to you more than anything.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. Do you happen to have a favorite track within the new EP? I mean, not the new album that you released.
I think it had to be All the Time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think it's because that's kind of like the sound that the type of like demos I'm kind of like making now. It's kind of progressing into more like new wavy like vibes, I guess, and like I love synthesizers, and like that song has a synth in it, and so like I'm really like going towards that direction. Yeah. And I think my favorite part about that track is the lyrics, because like I wrote those lyrics when I was like in New York last summer, and when I recorded the vocals, it was like totally like not how I usually record vocals. Right. If when you listen to it, it's like very like there isn't really like a vocal melody like my other ones, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like that song a lot.
Yeah. Also, interesting thing is like when you're talking about vocal melodies and stuff like that, it feels like you kind of keep it in that Ian Curtis style.
Oh yeah. I know, and that's, again, that makes me really happy. Like it you're killing this interview. Like, you're making me happy because like, you sound like bands from Capture Tracks. Like, you know, you have that Ian Curtis vibe. I'm like, I did it. I made it.
No, I think you definitely like convinced me with that sound. You know what I mean? Like,
awesome. Oh man, that's so cool. Like this tattoo is actually like a New Order tattoo. So
oh, okay.
Yes. Even though he's like not a New Order at all, but that makes me really happy.
No, that's cool. The when you play your live set, I remember I think I saw some footage of you playing with just like a laptop and like a guitar. Like,
yeah.
You know? But like you know, when I recently saw you, you actually have like a full band now. Does it feel different? Like when you play with a full band compared to just like playing by yourself?
Yeah, it feels totally different. I mean, before I did that show with just like the laptop, like I was also like playing with 2 other people from my school, and then so like when they left, and then I got you know, Ford from Young Lovers and Joanna to play. Like it wasn't that much of like a huge like change or like you know, like a huge different feel to it, just because like I've done it before.
Yeah.
But it was still different just because like Joanna and Ford have their own styles, and you know my past members have their own styles too. So like it's still like a different feeling, and like Ford and Joanna, like they nail it.
Right.
Like Ford is like an amazing drummer. Like every time I see him in Young Lovers, like he closes his eyes and he's just like so sweaty. He's like so into it.
He's feeling it.
Yeah. He feels it, and his hair is like flowing. Joanna just has that like, you know, that bassist like, I don't know, like mysterious vibe there and stuff like that. Yeah. And then my girlfriend actually started playing synth in like the last couple of shows. I think the last 2 shows.
Oh, cool.
And so that's been like a great addition, because like a lot of the main melodies that I have are on the second guitar. It's like on a lead guitar, and I was like, let's try having the lead parts like on synth, and it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
What was the show that you went to?
Oh, the one where I saw you was the Lot 1 show. It was with you, Ceramics.
Oh, yeah.
And Young Lovers, then Sonoda.
Yeah, Sonoda, yeah.
Yeah.
Then that was a huge show.
Yeah, that was a kick-ass show.
Yeah, that was the first show Ford and Joanna played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the first time.
Definitely, yeah. Have you known like those 2 for a long time?
Joanna, I just met this summer, and I've known Ford for a pretty long time. I think since like 2013 or 14.
Oh wow.
I met him through Josh.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen like Young Lovers back in the day when I was in my old band too. Mm-hmm. So I've known Ford for quite a long time, but definitely this like past summer, like him and I have gotten like closer than like ever before, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. Let's give a shout out to Young Lovers, man.
Yeah, shout out to Young Lovers. I was gonna wear that shirt. I was gonna wear their shirt too. We could have matched.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Speaking of shows too, on this podcast, I like asking this question, but you know, we're both musicians, but at the same time, like we're an audience too, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was wondering, like, what was one of the most memorable artists you've seen live, and you could include both DIY or venue show. That?
Oh man. Okay, I think like, do I have like a top 3 or do I have like one?
You could do top 3.
Okay.
Let's make a top 3.
I think maybe in no particular order. Definitely when Deer Hunter toured Halcyon Digest.
Mm-hmm.
That to me was like crazy. Like they played like Nothing Ever Happened like for like 15 minutes straight.
Oh wow.
And I was like, holy shit, like I want to do this, you know?
Yeah.
So that was really like mind blowing to me. And then I think my most recent I think this is probably in my top because like I've never heard of this band before. I saw them, and it was this band called Mothers.
Mm-hmm.
and they opened up for American football.
Oh, nice.
And so it was like my first time seeing Mothers live. I never knew, I've never listened to them before, but like they killed it, and I was just like blown away. I was simply just like, wow, like this is my new like one of my favorite bands that are like emerging now.
Are they emo or?
Their lyrics are really depressing.
Yeah.
And they have like a female vocalist, so that's really cool too. And like they kind of do like breakdowns, and like they're like not really distorted at all either, but like kind of they still have that like emo progressive like vibe to them, you know, like weird time changes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I think my number one it's got to be Slow Dive. It's got to be Slow Dive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw them twice, both at FYF like a couple years ago, and
I saw
this
that
past FYF, yeah. And this past FYF, like I was in the front, and I was just like, I felt like I was in like a, I don't know, I can't even describe it. I don't want to be like that cliche, like, oh, you know, I just was like gazing into their shoes or something like that. You know?
You were in trance.
I was in a trance. No, I was.
Yeah.
But like other than those shows, I mean, I love like techno, and I love house like music, and like as far as like, you know, little like warehouse shows, like those are my favorite to go to, because it's just like I love dancing, and like you can just go in there and with like loud music, and you're just dancing with people and stuff like that. So I also like doing that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight, dude. Yeah. Did you? Yeah, because like you were saying that like how your mom introduced you to Slow Dive and like those bands, but you know, when you see those older bands kind of like reviving and like start to tour again, like how do you feel about that?
I love it. You know, it gives like people who didn't see them in the past when they were first around like a chance to see them. Like when My Bloody Valentine played FYF, my mom and I like saw them.
Oh, really?
We both we were both just like standing, and I think we were both like pretty high and just like watching My Bloody Valentine. So it was a cool moment, and like it was nice seeing like my mom watch him, because like, you know, she's known him since day one. Yeah. You know, so it's like, and seeing like other like old people in the audience was cool, you know, watching them watch My Bloody Valentine, because it's like, you know, they've known about them for so long.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's really nice.
Yeah, like back in college when I first discovered Slow Dive, I never thought they were gonna go on tour, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What do you think of their new record?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah. Do you like it?
I think it was kind of hard for me to get into at first, but I do like a few of the songs on there. I think, but I do like it though. Yeah, it's definitely a lot different from like the Souvlaki, like Pygmalion feel, but it's like now like the equipment is like so like new now, and like, I feel like they're really like utilizing that and into this kind of like modern world, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really unique. Like Sugar for the Pill is like such a cool song.
Yeah. Like when they played that, you know, when they played like all those songs, like in this past FYF, I was just like having goosebumps and whatnot. And I definitely think that like Slow Dive, like their new album it's like my favorite album of the year, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That album definitely like shoot them up to the top, huh? Like, you know, they're
it's like they're getting like, you know, a lot of like recognition too, which is really nice. And they released like a remixes like EP that people like would like remix like their songs, and one of my favorite like house and techno artists, she remixed Sugar for the Pill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was cool seeing like, you know, two of my like favorite artists in like completely different genres kind of combining into one. So I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Yeah, I think like what I like about those shoegaze bands is that like they're very like have like a very melancholy sound, and I feel like your music holds that too. And especially like when it comes to like writing lyrics and stuff like that, does that come from like, I don't know, a dark place, or like or does it kind of like emerge like all of a sudden, like when you're writing lyrics?
I feel like it comes not necessarily from like a dark place, but just like it comes from like all the things that like I'm worried about, or like anything that I'm like, you know, scared of, or anything like that. And like my lyrics are pretty like straightforward, I think. I'm not like a good like writer when it comes to like describing things or having like, you know, certain things that represent like my feelings. I just write them, and I think part of that is inspired by like, you know, some of these shoegaze bands, but I think it's very inspired by like American football a lot, because I mean their lyrics are like straightforward.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
Like their new album like have like lyrics like "Doctor, it hurts that I exist" or something like that. And I'm like, holy shit, this guy is like still sad, and he's like 40. So, but like, yeah, I feel like I definitely feel that it just comes from a place where I worry about things, or if I'm scared of things, it comes from there. It comes from like you know, it comes from like someone who has like anxiety and whatnot. But I don't like to like really call it like a dark place, because like, yeah, it's like pretty, you know, they're pretty sad things, but they turn into like really cool songs. I think
that's true. Yeah.
But I'm also glad that like you think it comes from a dark place.
it could be, you know, like, because melancholy could mean like, because I always look at it as like somewhere between happy and sad. But like, you know, but happy sad. Like, you know, yeah. That's how I look at it, because I personally love sad music. So like,
and what I'm trying to do with like new songs, I'm trying to like keep with the sad lyrics, but like have like a upbeat, happy sound to it.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
Like I love The Cure, and they're like, I don't know, like the best at doing that.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's like I've been listening to like a lot of like Cure like this past summer, and just kind of like studying what they do, and like just kind of like analyzing like certain, you know, chord progressions or like rhythms and stuff like that, to keep it like upbeat but yet like really fucking sad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I feel like they're like probably like one of the most respected bands of all time.
Definitely.
Because I feel like even within like the shoegaze community, or like, you know, the post-punk community, and like the indie and stuff like that, even to like a general audience, like they're like huge, you know. Like,
they
so,
are, yeah.
They're like very accessible, and like,
yeah, exactly. And what sometimes I kind of classify some of their stuff as shoegaze. I mean,
definitely.
Disintegration is like pretty much like shoegaze, you know.
Oh, yeah, like Pictures of You. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it totally like The Cure is definitely like a huge inspiration right now.
Yeah. So is your new stuff gonna be like kind of somewhat different too, like the last album that you released, or do you think you're just gonna try to like kind of study more into like the music that you're currently listening to right now before recording?
I think it definitely sounds different from most of the songs that are on my recent release, but at the same time, I think it's still gonna have that like lo-fi quality to it for sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be like the ongoing like theme of my music. But like, yeah, like I said, like they're gonna sound pretty similar to all the time. So it's like I'm probably gonna release something hopefully by the end of this year, with Ford and Joanna and my girlfriend Scarlett on like. I'm gonna record them doing their own thing.
Sweet.
So like this is, yeah, like I'm excited to do that. So like, yeah, I think it's gonna sound pretty different, but like pretty similar at the same time. Like I have some songs from from this record that I kind of want to re-record, I think, too. And I also have like some ideas that can probably sound similar, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out and see.
Yeah.
I think I pretty much asked everything that I want to ask, but I wanted to transition into this small segment that I do called this, that, where I'm going to be taking your credit card number, and so I could buy all the stuff on Amazon.
Oh, sweet. I have like $5.
Okay. What I'll be doing, actually, instead of that, what I'll be doing is I'm gonna throw you some questions, and you could just give me like a quick answer of like your thoughts, So, like, I'll give you like an example. Cats or dogs?
Cats, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Because I have a cat, but like I love dogs too.
Yeah.
I'll change my answer to cat dog.
Cat dog.
Yeah, cat dog.
That's good. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaked me out as a kid.
All right, next one. If you can visit any place in the world, where would it be?
Manchester.
Manchester?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. Dive or wild nothing?
Wild nothing.
Wild nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dive's aesthetic's been kind of freaking me out recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Wild Nothing too. That Nocturne album is sick.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of Wild Nothing. I listened to a lot of them before recording when we slept in the treehouse.
Oh, okay.
And I listened to them a lot while I was recording Teenage Feelings, which was like an EP and also released.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Wild Nothing.
Yeah. Next one. OMD or New Order?
Oh man, why do you gotta do this to me? Why do you have to do this to me? I mean, I don't have an OMD tattoo, so I'm gonna have to choose New Order.
Yeah. I actually decided on after looking at your picture, you have like an OMD shirt on, and I thought that was sick. Like,
my mom got that for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, like I'm telling you, my mom gets me all the cool band shirts.
All the cool band shit, man.
Yeah. No, I love OMD. Like, my mom and my little sister went to a concert, and I didn't go. They didn't get me a ticket. I was like, okay, fine, give me a shirt.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like they're extremely underrated. Like,
they are, and they have just such like nice like synths going on all the time, like nice synth melodies, and it like their sound is just so, I don't know, like I'm just smiling.
Oh yeah.
I can't put it into words.
No, that's true. It's very organic.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Yeah. All right, next one. Neon Indian or Washed Out?
Oh man, why do you have to do this to me again?
Actually, let's replace Neon Indian with Tori Moi because you have glasses on.
Oh, Jesus. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna have to say Washed Out.
Washed Out.
Washed Out. Yeah.
Yeah. Washed Out's sick.
Yeah, I think just because like I haven't been really into Tori Mo's like funky albums, but like I liked so far like I've been like consistently listening to Washed Out I think longer than I have with Tora.
Yeah,
for sure. But I mean like Tora did inspire me in a lot of ways like back in the day.
Yeah, definitely, man. All right, I have two more, but next one is you were talking about cooking food, so I was thinking about asking if you were to like bring your like friends over, like what's the best thing you could cook for them? I am
a really good cook when it comes to cooking chicken adobo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I learned like cooking it from my grandma and like my mom and my uncle and like their own different ways.
Yeah,
and I just combined it all into one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And my like little dream is to have like a little food truck of just like handing out my chicken adobo. Yeah,
playing shoegaze and handing out chicken adobo.
Yeah, exactly. Just playing American football, like Sadobo.
Sadobo.
Yeah,
you're living the dream. Yeah. All right. Here's the last one. This is just a fill in the blank, but you can just fill it with like anything you want to.
All right.
Daydreams is.
Daydreams is cat dog.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that fits.
That definitely fits.
I could have gone to like Daydreams is like sad now, or like Daydreams is like nah, I'm a cat dog for sure.
Cat dog, man. Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you for being a part of this interview. Like
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, dude. Like, well, I'm glad that like this is something that I could do with like artists like you and like everybody like that. So, but before I end this show, I was thinking about playing one of your songs, a song off of the album. But would you like to choose one?
All the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that then.
Sweet.
All right, well, thanks a lot, dude.
Thanks, Kazu.
Mm-hmm.
That was Daydreams. If you want to hear more of Daniel's music, then check out the Bandcamp link in the description box below. More podcast episodes are coming, so don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. And Sammy, do you want to say anything before we leave?
Can I go now?
Alright, well that was Sammy. My name is Kazu, and I'll see you again on One and Only. Large K Podcast. Peace.